Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're so glad to welcome you as part of this community tonight. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and distributed live stream. By entering this virtual meeting room, you give your consent to be recorded and distributed by Simeon Morrow Public Speaking and Presentations, Vienna Live with Simeon Morrow, and other third parties. If you prefer to not be recorded, please turn off your microphone and/or camera, and/or go to the LinkedIn live video feed, the link to which I'll now place in the chat room. For a better experience, please turn off your microphone and set your video to gallery view. This show thrives on participant contributions, and all participants are encouraged to actively participate in this webinar by asking questions and making comments. To do so, please either write in the chat room, raise your hand, or turn on your microphone to say hi, and I'll be delighted, in fact, to include your perspective in the conversation. Tonight, our featured guests are Amri Alhambra, a pianist and deputy director of Musica Española Switzerland, Maestro Salvador Bertons, a composer and conductor, and Maestro Martin Heimer, a composer and conductor. We are also pleased to be joined by Dr. Lino Rivera, professor of music at St. Mary's College of California. This episode of Vienna Live will present many different perspectives of the organization Musica Española Switzerland, some of which will be expressed in French or German and will be translated into English through subtitles. In order to best express his perspective, Mr. Alhambra will speak in German, which I will then translate into English. Amri Alhambra, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Amri, so tell us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to become a professional musician.
Zuallererst möchte ich ein riesiges Kompliment an Simeon Morrow richten. Seine Vienna Live-Show ist eine Institution, eine enorm wichtige Plattform, und ich bin beschämt, heute ein kleines Mosaiksteinchen zu dieser Erfolgsgeschichte beitragen zu dürfen. Es ist mir eine unermessliche Ehre, über die bedeutende Pianistin Maria Luisa Cantos sprechen zu dürfen und über die Stiftung Musica Española Schweiz. Ein gigantisches Danke. Danke, Simeon. Vielen Dank.
First of all, thanks very much to Simeon Morrow and this institution, Vienna Live, that he's created. I'm just delighted to be able to put a small stone onto the foundation so that it can grow. Ik bedank me. Thank you so much, Mr. Alhambra. So tell us a little bit about yourself as a pianist.
Also, mein Name ist Amri Alhambra. Ich bin ein spanischer Pianist. Jedoch lebe ich seit meiner Geburt in der Schweiz.
Oh, I'm a Spanish pianist. My name is Amri Alhambra, and I've lived in Switzerland. I was born here.
Ich habe am Konservatorium Zürich studiert und meine Ausbildung mit dem Klavierlehrdiplom und dem Klavierkonzertdiplom abgeschlossen.
I studied in the Conservatory of Zurich. I studied piano and piano pedagogy, and I graduated with a diploma in piano teaching.
Weshalb ich Musiker bin, das ist eine sehr schwierige Frage. Ich übe sehr gerne. Und ich unterrichte sehr gerne. Das ist auch meine Haupttätigkeit, und ich bezeichne mich eigentlich als Klavierlehrer.
So why I became a musician is difficult to say, but it's I can tell you that I love practicing the piano and I love teaching. I'm a piano teacher at heart, and that's my principal occupation. Great. Amri, so tell us a little bit about this meeting. Maria Luisa Cantos, she became your, so to say, partner in crime. She's been the person with whom you have associated most. Tell us about meeting her in this important occasion that when you first became acquainted with her and she changed your life.
Ja, das war 1986. Sie war Solistin in der Tonhalle mit dem Tonhalleorchester. Franz Welser Möst dirigierte. Und das waren Las Noches en los Jardines de España von Manuel de Falla.
So it was in a very special year, 1986. She was performing as soloist with the Tonhalle Orchestra of Zurich. Franz Welser Möst was conducting, and she was performing the music of Defies. Well, let's take a listen now to that, and let's hear, if I can find it here, let's hear exactly what you heard, because we have it on YouTube. So this is the concert itself. Fantastic. So now let's get a look at, let's get to know Maria Luisa Cantos from an interview that we did last week. Here it is. C'est Amri Alhambra. Maria Luisa, j'aimerais commencer en te demandant, qu'est-ce qui t'a fait venir en Suisse? Pour t'installer en Suisse, en fait, tu étais déjà célèbre comme pianiste en Espagne. Tu avais une carrière internationale. Qu'est-ce qui t'a fait venir là en Suisse? Et toi, tu t'es installé là, ça fait 45 ans, plus que 45 ans que toi, tu t'as dédié ta vie à développer la vie musicale, la scène musicale en Suisse.
Oui, tout d'abord, merci beaucoup, Siméon Moron et à Vienna Live. Merci beaucoup pour ton invitation et de me donner la possibilité de raconter un peu ma vie professionnelle. Oui, évidemment, j'ai étudié à Barcelone, je suis née à Barcelone, j'ai fait mes études à Barcelone, au Conservatoire de musique de Barcelone, et après beaucoup de prix et beaucoup de concerts, je suis allée déjà avec 18 ans à Paris pour continuer mes études, à Vienne, etc., etc. Et avec la raison pour la Suisse, c'est que à 19 ans, j'ai pris contact avec le prix international d'exécution musicale de Genève. Et ça, c'était, j'avais 19 ans, et je me suis présentée et j'ai gagné un prix très important. Et alors, c'est comme ça que c'était mes premiers contacts avec de personnes très importantes et influentes du monde musical à Genève. Et c'est comme ça que j'ai pris le premier contact avec Radio Lausanne, où j'ai connu aussi le compositeur Julien-François Winden et Frank Martin. Et ça s'est développé avec beaucoup d'amitiés en Espagne, en Suisse. Et après, plus tard, j'étais invitée pour continuer masterclass et des concerts au Festival international de Lucerne, où j'ai été aussi avec Euisa, les grands pianistes hongrois. Et depuis là, j'étais invitée pour rester pendant le festival 2 semaines, mais au lieu de 2 semaines, je suis restée 2 années. Alors, c'est comme ça que les circonstances se sont développées en Suisse et j'ai resté en Suisse parce que j'ai remarqué, j'ai fait des concerts avec toujours une partie de musique internationale et après la deuxième partie avec musique espagnole. Et c'est comme ça que j'ai on m'a raconté qu'on ne connaissait pas tellement les programmes et les répertoires que je faisais dans les concerts. Et parce que j'avais fait toujours un mélange de musique baroque, de musique espagnole baroque, de musique classique, de musique romantique, mais on connaissait seulement le folklore espagnol, mais pas tellement les répertoires de piano de la musique espagnole.
D'accord. Hey, so that is Maria Luisa Cantos giving an introduction to herself. So here is her website. Let's take a look at this. So she's a very well-known pianist around the world, as we can see. She's done many, many different recordings and all this, but probably the most important part of her life has been dedicated to Musica Española Switzerland. So bringing these many different parts of the Spanish culture that were really not available at the time to Switzerland and to the rest of the world. So let's now take another look. Let's take a look at what exactly Musica Española is. This is a masterclass in castanets from 1988. Let's take a look here.
Ready to start?
Fantastic. So Amri, tell us about Musica Española Switzerland.
Also, Maria Luisa Cantos wurde vom Schweizerischen Musikpädagogischen Verband gebeten, einen Interpretationskurs über die damals noch völlig unbekannte spanische Musik zu halten. Das war 1979.
So in 1979, Maria Luisa Cantos was asked by the Teachers Union of Switzerland to give a course on Spanish music, which was at that time completely unknown.
Daraus entstand dann eine 40-jährige Tradition. 1982 gründete Maria Luisa Cantos einen Verein und 1990 eine Stiftung.
So in 1989, Maria Luisa, she founded a club, a so-called music club called Musica Española, and then she founded a year later the foundation, Musica Española Switzerland.
Neben den Meisterkursen gab es Referate, Ausstellungen, Publikationen, unter anderem CDs und Bücher, Reisen wurden organisiert und natürlich unzählige Konzerte.
So besides master classes, they also organized lectures on Spanish music, CDs, tours, and then of course many, many, many concerts.
Das 25-jährige Jubiläum brachte einige Änderungen mit sich. Es gab viele feierliche Konzerte und an diesen wurden zum Beispiel 2 Werke von Francisco José Martín Heimer uraufgeführt.
So for the 25th anniversary, there were many special concerts, and among them were a concert of Maestro Francisco Martín Heimer, who is here today with us.
Die Meisterkurse fanden dann zum letzten Mal statt und der Verein wurde aufgelöst. Die Stiftung blieb bestehen und jedes Jahr wurde mindestens eine Veranstaltung durchgeführt.
From that time, then they had some structural changes, but then they had at least once a year a meeting.
Ab 2014 fanden dann neu die Begegnungen statt. Das sind eintägige Begegnungen bei Maria Luisa Cantos zu Hause. Und dann wird musiziert, es gibt einen kleinen Meisterkurs, es gibt spannende Referate oder Komponisten sind auch anwesend.
So then since 2009, they've had a yearly meeting, what they call a Begegnung, meeting of different people from around the world who come to her home, the seat of Musica Española Switzerland, where they have a very special concert and a meeting. That's once yearly.
Und dann natürlich 2019 war das 40-jährige Jubiläum.
Of course, then in 2019 was the 40th anniversary. Fantastic. Let's hear now from Maria Luisa Cantos herself talking about Musica Española Switzerland. Here it is.
¿A qué se va a dedicar esta fundación?
Esta fundación, en principio, a conciertos y cursos como hasta ahora, y los proyectos, en cuanto podamos, hacer una biblioteca y un centro de documentación.
2 conciertos solemnes, uno aquí en Berna y otro en Zúrich, de la Orquesta de Cámara Reina Sofía de Madrid, dirigida por Don Alonso, pusieron el tono festivo a la presentación de la fundación. Maria Luisa Cantos interpreta la Rapsodía Sinfónica de Joaquin Turina con la Orquesta de Cámara Reina Sofía.
Fantastic. So now, Amri, also Musica Española Switzerland has created a large music archive. In order to do its activities, they had collected a whole bunch of Spanish music, Spanish books that were not available, that still today are rare around the world, and gave that collection to the Musicology Institute of the University of Zurich. Tell us a little bit about that, please.
Es war natürlich so, in den 70er, 80er und sogar in den 90er Jahren war es wirklich sehr, sehr schwierig, an spanische Noten oder Schallplatten zu kommen.
So
es gab kein YouTube.
In the 1970s, it was just incredibly difficult to come across Spanish music publications.
Und Maria Luisa Cantos hat unglaublich viele wertvolle Noten, Aufnahmen, Bücher, Kataloge, Faksimiles, Manuskripte zusammengetragen.
So Maria Luisa, she had just been her whole life collecting these facsimiles, music, books, CDs, records, so not CDs. She had just an unbelievably large collection.
Nicht zuletzt bekam sie immer wieder Bestände von Komponisten, persönlich, von Verlagen, von offiziellen spanischen Institutionen.
And not last, she received so many different letters and different documentation that was signed by officials and composers. She had just all of these things that she'd collected over the years.
Und natürlich Carlos Borel besorgte immer, wenn sie etwas brauchte, ging er sofort in Barcelona in Casa Beethoven und besorgte diese Noten und schickte sie ihr oder brachte sie ihr.
And her a longtime collaborator, Carlos Borrell, would search for her anything she needed in Barcelona at the so-called Casa Beethoven and send it to her in Switzerland.
Und eben 2007 vermachte sie ihr persönliches Musikarchiv, diese wertvolle Sammlung, vermachte sie dem Musikwissenschaftlichen Institut der Universität Zürich.
So then in 2007, as we see here, she gave that entire collection as a donation to the University of Zurich, the Musicology Institute of the University of Zurich. That's what we're seeing here. That is a donation of Musica Española Switzerland. And so here it is all the information about it. There you can see that you have all of these different kinds of documents here. Let's speak directly with the director of the library of the Music Institute. Here is the interview that I led with her last week. Her name is Veronica Frey. Also ich freue mich, mit der Frau Veronica Frey zu sprechen zu dürfen. Frau Frey, wo arbeiten Sie und was machen Sie dort?
Also ich arbeite bei der Universität Zürich, beim Musikwissenschaftlichen Institut und dort betreue ich die Bibliothek.
Und wofür ist das Musikwissenschaftliche Institut der Universität Zürich bekannt?
Also unter anderem tatsächlich für die Bibliothek. Das ist vermutlich die größte Institutsbibliothek für Musikwissenschaft im deutschsprachigen Raum. Also eine sehr umfangreiche Bibliothek, sehr breit gefächert. Und sehr breit gefächert ist auch das Spektrum, das das Institut allgemein vertritt in Forschung und Lehre. Es gibt hier viele Forschungsprojekte. Die Musikwissenschaft ist auch schon sehr lange in Zürich beheimatet, seit Ende des 19. Jahrhunderts schon. Und interessant ist auch der erste ordentliche Professor hier für Musikwissenschaft bei der Komponist Paul Hindemith.
Super. Also Frau Frey, im Jahr 2007 schenkte die Stiftung Musica Española Schweiz ihr Musikarchiv an die Bibliothek des Musikwissenschaftlichen Instituts der Universität Zürich. Was ist der Bestand dieses Musikarchivs und ist dieses Musikarchiv allgemein zugänglich?
Also es handelt sich um eine sehr umfangreiche Schenkung von Büchern und Noten vor allem von spanischen Komponisten, also von über 100 Komponisten, die es hier in der Region auch nicht sehr, sehr oft gibt. Also das ist so ein bisschen Spezialbestand, den wir hier haben. Wir bekommen da auch viele Anfragen für Kopien, ob man das verwenden kann. Dann sind auch noch ungefähr 100 Bücher, spanische Bücher zur Musik darunter. Und es ist ja eben ein sehr außergewöhnlicher Bestand. Und der ist auch frei zugänglich. Also der Bestand wurde in die Bibliothek integriert und die kann jeder benutzen, der hier vorbeikommen kann.
Super. Und also was bedeutet eigentlich dieses Musikarchiv? Sie haben ein bisschen meine Frage schon beantwortet, aber was bedeutet dieses Musikarchiv am Musikwissenschaftlichen Institut der Universität Zürich? Wozu kann dieses Archiv genutzt werden und wer daran interessiert sein könnte?
Ja, also eben es unterstützt nochmal unsere breite Aufstellung mit einem Spezialbestand, einem seltenen. Es kann natürlich für Wissenschaftler interessant sein, die sich über spanische Musik, mit spanischer Musik beschäftigen möchten oder auch lateinamerikanische Musik und eben auch für Musiker, also Musikpraktiker, die eben diese Werke gerne spielen möchten. Ist das auch von großer Bedeutung.
Super. Frau Veronica Frey, vielen Dank.
Sehr gerne.
Okay, great. So there we have the library. Thank you to Veronica Frey for that interview of the Musicology Institute of the University of Zurich. So Amri, tell us now about the composers that Musica Española Schweiz has supported. I know that they are really at the center of its work. In fact, we have two of them with us here today.
Zuerst möchte ich erwähnen, ich habe das vorhin vergessen, dass natürlich auch wichtige Interpreten zu Gast waren an den Meisterkursen. Natürlich Pepe Romero, Nicanor Zabaleta oder wie wir gesehen haben, Lucero Tena, Die haben alle Meisterkurse erteilt im Rahmen von Musica Española.
I'd also like to, I forgot to mention that we had so many important performers who came to perform for us and took part as Pepe Romero, the guitarist, Salvador Brotons, and Francisco Martin Heimer, whom we have here, Lucero Terno also.
Und dann natürlich eben diese vielen, vielen Komponisten. Also angefangen hat es mit Joaquin Nincomel, dann war Joaquin da, Salvador Brotons war 5-mal schon da, Francisco José Martín Heimer war, von ihm haben wir Kompositionen uraufgeführt, Delphine Colomé war da, dann waren auch noch Schweizer Komponisten da.
So of course we had so many different composers. I can't tell you how many times Francisco Martin Heimer or Salvador Brotons came, and we had Nincomel, so many different composers, and it's difficult to count them. Fantastic. So let's take a look now at one of the composers. Here we have the first composer is Joaquin Maria Nincomel. This is his music, which I think you will like a lot. Fantastic. So that is a recording of Maria Luisa Cantos of Joaquin Nincomel, which was recorded thanks also to the Musica Española Switzerland. Let's take a look at what it was like with Maestro Nincomel.
¿Qué nos puedes decir acerca de tu música y las tonadas, por ejemplo, que acabamos de estudiar durante este curso?
Pues la tonada, claro, es un problema un poco difícil de explicar. Se trata de unas obras cortas para piano, inspiradas de elementos populares, es decir, de cantos, de bailes, de ambiente popular, pero no son piezas para piano que citan directamente al canto popular, son inspiradas del canto popular.
Fantastic. So that is Joaquin Nincomel, the renowned Spanish composer. Now let's take a look at another composer here with us tonight, and also a conductor, Maestro Salvador Brotons. Fantastic. So there we have it. Now let's see also, before I bring him in, Maestro Brotons, who, as he was at one of the master classes some years ago. Here he is giving a master class at Musica Española Switzerland.
¿Sabes qué pasa? The problem here is the 5/4. The 5/4 is it's awful. I mentioned last day to you all, the problem is my fault. Here is this extra bit that I have added. It makes everything a mess. But pensa'm això, que és 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, perquè no aneu junts aquí ni tot això. Aquí fes una cosa, toca només la mà dreta i in tempo. Sí, toca, però que no... No, ja anava fent, ja. Bien, però comencem. Good, beautiful, just 5.
Fantastic. Maestro Brotons, welcome.
Thank you very much, Simeon. I'm very happy to be here and participating with this very interesting chat.
Maestro, so tell us about your collaboration with Musica Española Switzerland.
I have very happy memories because, first of all, I was invited to Switzerland, which is a great country, great people. I met a lot of great players. I met Amri. I met a lot of Swiss players that play my music, and I was teaching them. It's a fabulous place, very well organized because Maria Luisa organized it very well, and a fantastic ambience. It was like a big family of people that has an incredible passion for the music that we wrote, and also we established this very good communication. I was teaching them, and they were very enthusiastic playing the music. Very happy memories, and I had a fantastic time all together. But let me also emphasize the personality of Maria Luisa Cantos. This is something exceptional, believe me. You never find a person like her. First of all, she's an incredible pianist, very sensitive. She's a pianist that is not only plays the notes and very flashy technique, but she really goes to the great music, to the sensitivity of the music. And also, she's a person with such an incredible energy and passion for whatever she does that really, really makes you contagious. It's a person that the energy that she puts in whatever she does, and is absolutely exceptional. And that's something I want to remark that, because it's something that you don't find very, very often, all these kind of personalities.
And Maestro Brotons, tell us about, I understand that you've known and been friends with Maria Luisa Cantos for forever. Tell us about when she first invited you to come be part of this. Did she say, we want you to compose something, or we want you to conduct something, or what was it when she first told you about this foundation? What did you think? What did it mean to you?
First of all, I know Maria Luisa since I was a little boy, because she was playing chamber music with my father at home, and I remember that part when I was, I think, 4 or 5 year old, and she came to Barcelona to perform music. We are talking about a long time ago. But answering your question, I mean, believe me, I just came to Switzerland, very enthusiastic, and I was trying to teach everything I knew about my music, but believe me, it was so well organized, all these courses and master classes, concerts, I had an incredible time. What else can I tell you? it was a big family of people that really play with a lot of enthusiasm. I never have seen this enthusiasm in knowing they were asking me a lot of questions about my music, and I had to make a story and to explain everything, every single detail about what I wrote. But believe me, it was very beautiful days that I spent there in with Maria Luisa, energy and the students especially. Amri is an incredible pianist. That she is. I always mention to him, you are a specialist of my music, because he has been playing maybe all the repertoire that I wrote for piano, and he's a fast learner. He's an enthusiastic person, and people like Amri, all the rest of the people I met there was the same kind of personalities.
Fantastic. So what I wanted to take a look at now is I want to introduce then Mr. Martin Heimer, who is here.
Podríamos haber empezado de muchas formas.
Maestro Martin Heimer, welcome.
Hello, I'm terribly glad to be here.
We're so glad to have you too. Maestro, tell us a little bit about this that we just saw you. You were performing together with Maria Luisa Cantos. It looks like a very, very important concert. This was your composition. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. This was probably the most important concert in my whole life. It was a rather difficult time in my life. I left music forever and ever. I came back later, and I won I was awarded with the International Composition Prize, Reina Sofia, which changed absolutely my life. And I was so lucky not only winning this competition, but also having Maria Luisa Cantos playing the soloist part, which actually I wrote it for me, and trying any other pianist to die after playing it. My dream was I will be the only pianist available for this concert, so they will need to hire me. But she demonstrated that it's not true, and it is playable, and she did it with perfection and love, because it's all about love. It's what the philosopher Ortega y Gasset said. It's everything is about love, and her love for music and for everything she does is total. So it's such a privilege to have her playing my music, that she asked me for another concert, and I wrote, and she always didn't die. So she survived to 2 of my concerts. It's absolutely awesome. Amri first performed one of my compositions also, and he can testimony that my music is devilish difficult. I know, I write, so I shall know. And he did it so well, because I have been thinking about Maria Luisa. I had prepared a long list of beautiful things to say, but Maestro Breton said almost every of them. So now I shall say another thing, and thinking quickly about what to say. What can I say about Maria Luisa? Well, I thought, what is different in her? Actually, I think all performers, Maestro Bretons and Maestro Alhambra, can agree with me, or maybe not, but all of us, we play Spanish music. We try to let it known around the world and in our small, medium, and big cycles. And well, she also does that, of course. But there is a point in which she is absolutely different, and I think it is that we try it separately, but she can be surrounded by so many amazing, awesome people, like Maestro Alhambra, for example, that her legacy is beyond our single work. So she is making this compliance of Spanish music in this middle, in the center of Europe, and developing it for the entire world. That it is truly important, even more if we take in mind when it started, because now, well, we have internet now. We are any one of us is in a single and different part of the world, but at this time it was absolutely impossible. Make a phone call. I remember you making a phone call was an absolute fortune for the pocket of anyone. So and she started with this project. She built this. It's difficult because it's not a museum, it's not a mausoleum, it's not a temple, it's something live. It's alive. It's not something. It's not a stone structure cold but lasting in the time. It's not. It's something alive. It's like but it's also not an animal, for example. It's a being. So
Fantastic.
it's a being of all the souls she is adding to this project. So we are only a small part of this we're representing this, but it's larger and beautiful and awesome. And well, I am really proud and honored to humbly being here between all these musicians and composers.
Indeed.
And
Wonderful.
so as I am to be here with you at this event.
Thank you.
And I can have better words for her than thank you for your love. For your love for Spanish music, for my music, for our music, and for the music in
Wonderful.
general.
So, as you mentioned, Maestro Martin Heimer, it is, we're all here today. All of these, we've never had so many guests come together at one point from so many different places, and it's all because of her foundation, Maria Luisa Cantos. As you mentioned, I believe any strong institution, it's about the people, right? It's not about the building or the law, it's the people. Fantastic. So that brings us to our final roundtable. This is a roundtable, so I'd like to start with Amri, and then Maestro Bertons, and then Maestro Martin Heimer, please. The roundtable is, quote, for her decades of work promoting Spanish music and culture through Musica Española Switzerland, in 2019, Maria Luisa Cantos was awarded the Kingdom of Spain's highest civilian honor, the, quote, Lazo de Dama de Isabel la Católica. When looking back, why might Musica Española Switzerland be considered an extraordinary organization for its time? And now that Spain is inundated with 83 million visitors per year, tied with France as the most visited European country, and Spanish culture is in high demand all over the world, what next steps should the organization take to continue promoting Spanish classical music and culture in this globalized world? Amri?
Das ist auch eine sehr schwierige Frage.
Oh, that's a difficult question to answer, he says.
Aber ich denke, also jetzt mit Musica Española Schweiz zu reden, also das Wichtigste ist diese Plattform für Maria Luisa, dass sie wirklich diese Begegnungen so lange wie möglich weiterführen kann, dass sie spielt, dass sie viele Konzerte gibt. Das ist eigentlich essentiell, finde ich.
So this platform that Maria Luisa has created for concerts, for people meeting, it has to continue. So that is what's most important at the moment, is that we continue giving the concerts, we continue bringing people together. No other vision for the next years, Maestro Amri, and when now you are taking over, you will be directing.
Also, ich hoffe, dass das noch weit weg ist, dass Maria Luisa wirklich noch lange die Präsidentin ist und eben sehr viel spielt. Und ja, vielleicht CDs wieder aufzunehmen. Es wird ein Buch geben. Im Dezember findet die nächste Begegnung statt. Es gibt auch Kontakte zu Japan. Also es gibt viele japanische junge Pianistinnen. Eine Musikhochschule in Sendai ist sehr interessiert an Maria Luisa. Jetzt mit der schwierigen Zeit ist es natürlich sehr schwierig, aber vielleicht wird das stattfinden.
So first of all, I wish that Maria Luisa stays the president of the organization for many, many years to come. I'm in no hurry to take over from her. What's most important at the moment is that she continues to perform and we can continue to put on concerts. We will be publishing a book about her life and Musica Española Switzerland in December. And besides that, there's a music school, for instance, international music school in Sendai, Japan, that's very interested in the work that we're doing. Of course, the health situation has made that difficult at the moment, but we will be pursuing that in the future. Thank you so much, Amri. Maestro Bertons?
I think the Musica Española in Switzerland is in very good hands because Amri is a person that will take care very much. He knows everything. He knows the community. He's a Swiss person. And what he needs to do is just to keep doing a lot of activities, to open as much as possible to all the Swiss musicians that are interested in knowing our music, making some lectures, concerts, master classes. That's what it should be. And also just showing the archive that we have in Switzerland and facilitating all the music for them to play and to listen to, and I think that mainly is all that. And as I mentioned, Amri is the perfect person for that because he's a very passionate person. He knows, and he knows Maria Luisa very much, and it's all about that. I mean, we are in a global world, and as Martin Caime mentioned, it's much easier to get information right now that 40 years ago there was. And still, if you can go to a place and you can see the music and you can actually see them in the paper, is much better. And keep doing as many activities as possible.
And Maestro Breton, do you plan on future collaborations? Do you plan on composing?
I am always ready to come back to Switzerland because it's a country that I love very much. And I always keep composing and conducting as much as I can.
Wonderful.
Very
Maestro
good.
Martin Heimer?
Well, it's absolutely difficult to predict the future. So I only can say, keep doing what you're doing. So it's working. So why there is any time is a need to change things, but I consider humbly that you are in the right way. Just because each day more people can be closer to the Spanish music thanks to your organization, and it is, I think it's a need for all of us. Spain needs that, and in other countries probably she would have a noble title, and you would have a lot of condecorations, but it's Spain. I'm sorry. This is Spain. You remember in this film 300s, so this is Spain. So it's hard for everyone sometimes in culture, in music especially, not so much in painting or drawing, but I think the one of the most relevant decisions was to place this foundation in Switzerland, because this is the heart of Europe. This is a neutral country out of wars, thanks to God, and it's important, this safety, this security for the legacy of this music. I think it's fundamental. So, but I'm talking about the past and the present, not about the future. I'm sorry, my doubts as a wizard are not so big. I can only say, continue, please, I beg you, continue.
Fantastic. So Maestro, and tell us, so are you also planning to come back to Switzerland to work with Maria Luisa again, to compose for her, to compose another piano concerto that you think is, shall I say, deadly?
Well, actually, I don't think so, because I proposed her and she said, no, thank you, to beyond the life experiences are enough for me. Well, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, I am discovering important things in my music, and I should be absolutely pleased to compose a third piano concerto for her.
Wow, wonderful. Okay, so thank you so very much. Before I give the thanks again, I want to have a look at how we can stay in touch with Musica Española. It's very easy. It is musicaespañola.ch, and there we can reach out. Amri, is that right? We can reach out to you just by clicking on the contact. Is that it?
Of course, yes.
Wonderful. So there we have it, Musica Española at bluewind.ch. All the information is here, even a phone number. So I will put this in the chat room so that everybody is able to reach out. And as Amri said, don't hesitate to contact them. They will be having their annual meeting, Begegnung, coming up soon. So everybody is welcome to sign up and to meet them there. Right there at their office. So fantastic. Thank you so very much to Amri Alhambra, to Maestro Salvador Brotons, to Maestro Francisco Martin Heimer.
Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Great.
So
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
let's
See
take
you
a look.
all.
Let's take a look at what's coming up next week. We have here Erberk Yilmaz. Can contemporary music be beautiful? Some people shudder when they think about contemporary classical music. Some even consider it a form of punishment. Not long ago, a joke was going around France about a new law that would make parking offenders think twice. In lieu of cash fines, errant parkers would be forced to listen to Pierre Boulez's music for 10 minutes. The strangely dissonant classical music of the Second Viennese School, meaning the early 20th century music of Schoenberg, Berg, and Webern, was lionized by Boulez and other post-war classical music reactionaries in a way that only the school's founders could appreciate. The disciples publicly repudiated the school's music as not radical enough. Any music that allowed even a single repetition of a musical expression, such as repeated rhythms, melody-forming pitches, or larger musical sections, would resemble classical music and lose all relevance to music modernity. That radical view reflects the era in which it was formed, the 1950s and 1960s. As the transport scientist Dr. Marco Kitty informed us a few weeks ago, huge infrastructure investment was being made all over the Western world at that time, and a break with the past was probably welcomed in a Europe decimated by 2 world wars. Moreover, the same citizens who would have stared in awe at those never-before-seen wonders of architecture and mobility were constantly inundated with news that it would all be instantly vaporized by a single nuclear missile. Today, globalization and the positive life outlook of citizens has led world leaders to consider total war nonsensical. The global reaction to Vladimir Putin's war against Ukraine, as well as the Kremlin's choice to keep the conflict limited, being a case in point. Because prosperous peace and cooperation are the names of today's game. Today's contemporary classical music reflects those values most prominently in instruments and musical vocabularies it incorporates, both of which are sourced from every corner of the globe. No one else knows that globalization of Western contemporary classical music better than composer Erberk Yilmaz. Erberk is a contemporary Turkish composer who earned a doctorate in Western classical music from one of the West's most elite conservatories. His music mixes East and West, classical and contemporary, and calls for an orchestra that is as diverse and rich as the world itself. Come welcome Erberk to our show, and let's ask him if beauty is an attribute of today's music modernity. Once again, that's Erberk Yilmaz. Can contemporary music be beautiful? That is next Wednesday, and all information about upcoming shows, as always, can be found at www.simeonmoro.com. Once again, thank you so very much to Amri Alhambra, to Maestro Salvador Brotons, Maestro Francisco Martin Heimer, Professor Lino Rivera, Maria Luisa Cantos, of course, and Veronica Frey. Thank you to Carlos Borrell, Agnieszka, and Benoit Rivole for their support of this show. Most of all, thanks to you, our participants who make it all worthwhile. From Switzerland and from Zurich and Würzburg, Switzerland, from Barcelona and Malaga, Spain, from New London, New Hampshire, Plattsburgh, New York, and the Bay Area, California, goodbye, and see you next Wednesday.
Bye-bye.